Who's bringing us
Since
in?
you're oh, I can do it. But since you're recording, are you doing the editing too, or are you going to do all that, or what?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I can bring us in. 3, 2, 1. Wow. No, that's not good because it's got to be something powerful for a return back. Let's go say welcome back to another episode. That's not going to be good.
Yeah. Another empty promise about trying to do more episodes, maybe. That would probably be pretty good.
Ooh, that is good. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Boom, 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 boom. No, that's lame. Hey everyone, welcome back to another gaming podcast, episode number 37. The podcast full of empty promises of more and more podcasts coming out, but yet it's been 6 months since our last episode, but we're here to bring you guys the best gift of the year. Perfect time of year to give it to you too. Anyways, Stephen Light Gamer, I'd like to welcome my co-host, Chance Doomwaves. What's up, man?
Yay, we're here, and we're doing this thing. I forgot how to do it.
Yes, it's going to be some shaky grounds here, but we'll see if we can get back into the kick of things. Dustin, we hear you stickering back there. What's up, man?
Not much. What's going on, guys?
Just a late night session with you guys. Couldn't think of a better way to spend my 10:30 at night here on the East Coast evening.
Yeah, but you're working.
I got an excuse
now,
to.
right?
I'm on nights right now. This is my last week of nights. Thank goodness, because it has been horrible. Normally, I can adjust from my night shift to day shift stuff pretty easily, but it's been rough this go around, so I cannot wait to get back on days. It's going to be a blessing.
Oh, yeah.
Because normally it's been nice because at nighttime, you have my house to myself. I can play all sorts of games. It hasn't really been like that. It's been, even though it's nighttime and I'm supposed to be up, I've been falling asleep. So it's been good.
Makes for some long shifts.
It does. Some long, sleepy shifts. So how you guys been, man?
Busy.
Oh, yeah, busy.
Extraordinarily busy still.
Yeah, I think what they'll find out when they start hearing this episode, when we talk about what we've been up to the past couple months, I don't think either or any of us have had a lot of gaming in that time. And if it has been, it's been focusing on just a couple games. And that's pretty much been it. Would this be an accurate assumption?
Absolutely.
That tends to happen when you play 70-plus hour RPGs.
Oh, yeah. But that's
Especially-
not my excuse anyway.
Well, mine has been that never-ending RPG called World of Warcraft
Ew.
that will just suck the life right out of it. So it'll take up any time you want to playing something else. But it's been fun. I can't say it hasn't been time well spent. So,
Well,
but other than that,
should we all answer the big three questions? Because it's been so long since anybody's heard from us, they don't even know us anymore.
if you can remember what the big three questions are,
that was a
we'll
joke.
gladly try to answer.
That was a bad joke.
Hey, it could be changed now. I mean, we had a new Star Wars movie come out during the time of our podcasting. Maybe that is now one of our favorite movies of all time. Episode 7.
I don't think anything's
So
different
times-
for me.
It's probably not different for me either. I'm pretty set in my ways by now.
You can't change us, old men. We're set in our ways. Did someone's Secret Santa package just come in? Because,
Oh, did you hear me opening that package?
yeah.
No, that was... I found some Amiibos while I was Christmas shopping, so I picked some up.
Oh, really?
What'd you get?
What'd
Yeah.
you share? What'd you snatch?
I found a Ness, I found a Lucas, and I found a Robin. So
Nice.
Oh, Robin, nice. When, are they still coming out with new ones of those? Because I've dropped off of that a long time ago.
I'm assuming so. Yeah, I mean, I still see like a bunch of like new ones out there. I don't necessarily buy them unless I know what they are, but yeah, I still think they're making them.
I think the last one I bought was that Ike, and that might have been it. And then I hung it up from there.
What
I'm actually,
seemed like-
we're probably all.
It seemed like a lot of the
What's up?
Amiibo releases were like kind of dependent upon games to use them. So like a
Yeah.
ton of Smash characters and a lot of like the Animal Crossing stuff, and then like Yoshi's Woolly World, and then like what else uses them? Like I thought that was kind of how they based the releases, and at some point you're going to run out of Smash characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could use them in Mario Kart as well,
Right.
so there was another use, but
And Mario Maker, you could unlock
Yeah.
little character skins for them. But I mean, just in general, like the packaging for the amiibos themselves, are based upon a game. Like all the Smash specific ones, like have Smash text on the packages and stuff like that.
yeah.
So I don't know. I guess as the Wii U kind of declines in releases, I guess the necessity for new amiibos, unless they're going to transfer to the Switch, I guess it'll probably just stop.
I didn't even. Yeah, ever since I stopped buying the Wii U, I completely forgot you could use it in games or what
Yeah.
would even be the use.
Yeah,
for.
that's what they were for. Duh.
And I have I bought the Mario Maker game, and I didn't know you could use them as skins in there. My son would love that if I could give him some new skins in that game. But
I only have like 2 amiibos to my name, so like I haven't utilized it that much. But yeah, it's part of the you play the levels or whatever, and you get the mystery mushrooms, and you can put the different skins on depending on if you have the amiibos.
speaking of amiibos and Wii U, Dustin, you said you dusted off the old thing in Lily, or was it you getting into some Super Smash Brothers on it?
It was both of us, because there was a bunch of DLC characters that I missed out on, so I got Ryu and Roy and a bunch of other people, and she's been like getting into playing it, so it kind of got me back into playing it because she'd want me to play her, and then so I was doing some Smash, but nothing too extreme. There's so much shit in that game I still need to unlock, but I just so little time.
Yeah, I remember trying to having that game night on it, and just it was fun being able to play with people online, but then the connection was so bad. And I don't know if it was just because of me being the laggy gamer, or if it was widespread for everybody, but I had that game having so much potential and on a huge pedestal for me when I bought it when it came out, and then since the online flunked on it for me, it's like nope, no interest anymore.
I found myself
It's like
just
playing with people.
bored as hell with the game, so I just got rid of it while it still had some value.
But when I still actually play online from time to time, I actually will hop in on some Mario Kart, and I will still go online. I'll finish in 6th or 7th. I don't care. It's still fun going around that track and playing online still.
I freaking love Mario Kart 8, man. I just played it like a couple weeks ago, too. Just threw it in randomly, played for like 30 minutes. It was magical.
But since the past couple months have been exciting here, because one exciting event, I don't know if you caught a chance. I know Dustin saw some pieces of it, or at least one game. The PlayStation Experience just happened about a week or 2 ago. Did you get to see any of a chance? Since you're a PS4 owner now. I don't know if people know that either.
No, I didn't watch it.
Well, let's just say Sony has some pretty exciting stuff going on. And Last of Us 2, Dustin, I know you're pretty hyped for it.
Yeah. I think it was just a cinematic trailer, but it hit all the right notes for that feeling of the game. And then sort of the after trailer speculation as to what is actually going on in the trailer really got me intrigued about what this one's going to be. So
when you told me about that trailer speculation thing,
mm-hmm.
I was like, "There's no way that could be it." But then after actually looking into it or watching the trailer again, I'm like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah, it's like one of those things you can't unsee. Like once it happens, once you get told that, you're like, "Yeah, that makes total sense."
So we won't spoil what people are speculating, just in case it is. But it is just speculation, so I don't know why we couldn't.
Yeah.
But it actually looked like you said cinematic trailer, but it actually looked like what it could look in game. Like that's kind of what Last of Us looked like, you know?
Yeah, but what I meant by that was it wasn't actual. There was no gameplay.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
And I'm actually a guy who I enjoyed Last of Us. I think I said back when I had played back in the day, but it wasn't something I thought was crazy amazing. But I'm looking forward to playing the second one.
Yeah, I think I think the gameplay was pretty standard. If you played Uncharted, you've kind of played The Last of Us, but it was more the story presentation that I think really just sold it for me.
Yeah. But what really got my noodle cooking during that show was seeing the gameplay debut of Mass Effect Andromeda. Boy, oh boy, was I geeking out about that game, because... Chance, have you tried any Mass Effects yet?
I have not.
Man, I will send you each game just so you can
You did
get an opportunity to play.
last Christmas. You gave them.
I did. There you go. And just seeing, it just looks amazing. Just the gameplay looks perfected. I don't really know what I could say. If you're into space RPGs and you have not watched or played that series yet, did you get to watch the gameplay versions of it yet?
Yeah, I watched it, and I also read the Game Informer article on it, and I can't wait for that. It just sounds too good to be true. One of those things.
Now, 'cause I know you put that post on our page today about Dragon Quest XI Game of the Year, but I don't know, man. This Mass Effect could be my Game of the Year.
Yeah, I was being a little tongue in cheek about that, but
yeah. Because that does bring up a good point. Greg put a post to confirmed English releases of Dragon Quest games next year. What are the confirmed releases? Because I thought it's just Dragon Quest Heroes 2.
So, I think they've confirmed Dragon Quest Heroes 2, and I think it's Dragon Quest 11. I think they've said Dragon Quest 11 is coming out. I think. Okay. Because the other one is Joker 3, which I don't know if that one's been confirmed yet or not for coming out over here.
I'd actually be surprised if that wasn't, because we tend to get the Joker games over here, at least the first two, right? So
yeah. Well, it's been a while since the DS renaissance of Dragon Quest games, so it's kind of hard to say which is going to come out and which isn't. But
yeah, there's kind of a crazy amount of Dragon Quest on the DS.
Yeah, there really is.
Not that that's a bad thing. It's just there is an abundance. There's so many games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, you can get almost the entire. Soon you'll be able to get almost the entire series on some form of a DS. They just need to release like a Erdrick saga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be all over that. That'd be fantastic. Even if it was just like they put the Game Boy Color ones on the eShop, I would be all over that.
Yeah.
Did you pick up 7, Chance?
No, I didn't. It's kind of on my, like, I would call like a secondary wish list, because I have a list of games I'd like to get, of course, just like most of us do. But like some of those lengthy RPGs, it's like I want them, yeah, because I'd eventually like to play them. But man, I don't have the time right now. So yeah, I'd like to get it, but it's comfortably resting in that secondary list where it's like, okay, I'll get this eventually, but it's not a thing, because really I haven't played most of the Dragon Quest games anyway, so it's not like I would be chronologically ready for 7 anyway. Not that it matters if you play them in order, but I've played 1 and 2 and 9, and that's about it. So I've got a lot of ground to cover anyway, so I'm not in a hurry. Oh, and Dragon Quest 8 coming out next year too on the 3DS.
Yeah,
man.
So that's the 4th one then, 4th Dragon Quest game.
I've actually I haven't watched your video on the 3DS version yet, Dustin. Have you fully completed it, or was that just a video to kind of touch on the differences?
That was my game. I've played 75 hours of it, so I've got enough under my belt to do a discussion. But I'm gonna finish all the jobs for all the characters, so it's gonna take me a little while longer. But I just wanted to get a video out.
I got you.
Yeah.
I actually really I bought 7, and for some reason it's one of those RPGs, after you put one down for a little bit, it can be kind of tough to pick it up to get back into the swing of things. But I have found no problem, because I've been going between that and Pokemon Sun back and forth, and I've had no problem like going between them. I still yet to get to the alt band, and I'm like 15, 16 hours into it. How long does it take to get to that thing?
To get to the what?
I'll trade Abby where I can start getting the job changes, man.
Yeah, it's a while into it. I mean,
okay.
But the thing of it is the 3DS version picks up the pace quite extensively, whereas the PlayStation 1 version, I mean, it was a long time before you... I mean, it was like a couple hours before you even got like to the first island, and then in this one, it's like, you know, you blink and you're on the first island.
I've really enjoyed what I put into it so far because gameplay feels so smooth. I love old school turn-based RPG combat. I just really love that gameplay style. I know Final Fantasy 15's out now with this whole revamped systems and stuff, but something about that classic just attack, defend, magic stuff just gets me giddy.
Yep. I'm actually really interested to see like how it's all going to work with Dragon Quest XI, if it's going to continue the traditional turn-based or if it's going to try something wacky.
I know it's got to stick with the traditional, you think, right? It's got to.
I mean, Dragon Quest traditionally, Dragon Quest has always been about tradition, but you know.
Yeah.
Well, I would say
because they got. Go ahead, Vance.
I would say it's a slightly safer bet to say that it could stay traditional, just being with stuff like Dragon Quest Heroes and Dragon Quest Monsters existing. It seems more logical that it could stay traditional. Granted, you know, it could be different, sure, but it seems like they're scratching that different itch with the other types of games with the same name.
I think you hit it right on the head, man. That's like the perfect analysis because they want to have an action hack and slash. You can do the heroes. Now they got the builders. I think you could just keep Dragon Quest XI, keep it traditional. It's going to look really pretty. Not that all Dragon Quest games just look good anyway, except maybe the PS1, Dragon Quest VII. But after seeing that cinematic trailer you put on the channel today, Dustin, it's got me excited. I just keep loving hearing that music, man. They can use it. They use it in every Dragon Quest trailer, but when it kicks into that note, dun 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 dun, it's just so awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I love that.
So yeah, hopefully you think we're going to get it next year? I doubt it'll be the English next year, eh?
Yeah, I wish they'd do like a worldwide release like they do with all these other games, but you know, we'll probably have to wait like a year and a half for them to do the translation, and then there'll be a bunch of hemming and hawing about it, and you know, the typical heartache of being a Dragon Quest fan.
Because it took, oh man, Dragon Quest Heroes, the first one. It's been about a year and a half. So by the time Dragon Quest Heroes 2 comes out, we had just got the first one when that released in Japan. So you're right, it could be about 2 years before we even see Dragon Quest XI. It could be dead on the money. Yeah. But hopefully we'll have good games in between then to keep us busy. You recently picked up Builders, right, Dustin? I thought I saw you put a picture of it up.
Yeah, I got Builders. Actually, my mom got it for me for my birthday.
Cool. Thanks, Mom. You're
Thanks,
awesome.
Mom. Thanks, Mom.
Did you pop it in yet to give it to see what it was about?
No, because I'm getting down to that point where I can only really focus on one or two games because I have such limited time. So yeah, I just happen to be playing two ridiculously long games right now.
Nice. What about you, Chance? Because I thought you were into Minecraft. So did Builders ever pop in your mind, maybe trying to give that a go?
No, I'd love to try it, but my time has just been so diverted to other things, and not only that, just finances aren't where I'd like them to be to buy new releases either. So yeah, I haven't got that yet, but I do love Minecraft, and I am interested to see what Builders is. But I've kind of avoided a lot of videos and stuff surrounding it. I have never actually seen any gameplay of it to know what it's even like. How is it similar to Minecraft, or how is it similar to Dragon Quest? I have no idea yet. So I'm comfortable in waiting because I've avoided any sort of hype.
I got you. It's actually, let's see, how could I word it? it's because I'm not a big Minecraft guy, but I know in Minecraft you gather materials and stuff and build things out of it. So it's pretty much the same in that game, but it's the combat system. I'm sure is probably way better than Minecraft because it's pretty much like a hack and slash combat system in this game. I'm just imagining it's way smoother than what Minecraft would be because I've kind of seen videos of the hit and back off combat in that game. And it's actually really good. The game looks beautiful. It plays really well. And I'm not into the gathering and collecting stuff in games. And it's actually really easy in the game, and it's not taxing. It has a quest system to lead you along the way so you don't get lost in what you're doing or know what to do for a next step. It's been really good. I've enjoyed it a lot. But like you guys, you can only juggle so many games at once. And when I was playing Dragon Quest VII and Pokemon, kind of longer RPGs, I didn't want to play that as a console game at the same time. So I put in some Titanfall 2. That's what kept me entertained.
I heard that's got a really great campaign, from what everyone says.
Since I'm talking about games I'm playing, so I might as well just we could all kind of touch on that stuff, I guess, now anyway. It is, like we said, it's one of the best first-person shooter campaigns I've ever played. I just really enjoyed the story it had between the main character and your Titan, this robot who you really care for, and you develop this relationship with a machine, and it's just awesome. You want to see it through to the end. So it's got the funny moments, it's got the feel moments, and just the combat was so much fun. You played the original Titanfall, correct, Chance, because you got it on the Xbone?
Oh, yeah. It's. I know that it catches a bad rep because it was such an empty game, but the gameplay itself was super satisfying.
Yeah, it's solid first-person shooter gameplay. It just nails it. And you would think, can you run and jump and shoot and stuff at the same time? Would it be hard to do? But for some reason, Respawn just nails it, the combat system in the game. So it's so much fun to play through. So I really enjoyed it. It's really short, really, really short. But that's not to say a bad thing, because sometimes when you put in a shooter, you just that's what you want sometimes, right? You just want something to mindless to kind of get away from things.
Unless they put all these secrets in the levels and then you burn yourself out trying to find all the secrets.
Oh, you hush.
Speaking of, have you found all those secrets yet, Chance?
No, I didn't put a lot of time into looking for everything. I would kind of peek around corners if I was close and look for the little secrets and stuff. But it just really wasn't something that I felt like I needed to do to be satisfied with the game. And it's definitely, we're talking about Doom, I guess, if people are unaware. It's something that I plan on frequently replaying, just because of how satisfying that game is to me. I know we talked about it. It might have even been the last episode we did here, the one in June that we recorded, because I guess that makes sense because the game came out in May. So I know we talked about it extensively on that episode, but for me, Doom just scratches all the right itches. It's just fast and dumb. Fast and dumb. Like, it just shoot everything. If it moves, you're probably supposed to be shooting it. And if it has a head, that's where you can kill it most quickly and most efficiently, is to shoot it there. And there is just tons and tons and tons of nostalgia built in the game, and including, these secrets. There's just a ton of stuff to do. But all the while, you can ignore the story if you want to. There's a story there, and it's not horrible. It's cheesy and sci-fi Doom story, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And but it's totally also irrelevant too. Like, you can totally just play it and just kill everything and just move on. And Dustin, I know you're burnt out on it. I know. But I tell you what, the end of that game is so incredible with all of the boss fights that you have left to do. They're just so satisfying.
Yeah, I know. I need to just throw it in and just not worry about the secrets.
What do you mean all those boss fights? I feel like there was like 2 the whole game.
There's 3, and they're all 3 just excellent, I think. There's a Cyber Demon fight, and then there's the, I forget what they're called, but they're like these big golems of some kind, big titans, that I thought was a really well done fight. And then the Spider Demon at the very end is a really great fight too, I think. I mean, I thought they were all pretty well done.
I remember being disappointed in the last boss because part of me wanted it to be bigger, like just this huge thing.
Yeah, no, the Cyber
taking
Demon
up my
is
whole
actually,
screen.
The Cyber Demon, I think, is actually bigger, but that makes sense.
It is, yeah.
He's bigger in the original game too, in the original Doom. Cyber Demon felt like when you got to that fight, you think, "Oh man, that's the final boss has got to be way bigger than this." But no, the Cyber Demon fight in the old game and this game, he's bigger and he's harder than the final boss. Spoiler, I guess, the Cyber Demon has 2 different stages, 2 different phases. So you kill him once, and then you think, all right, let's move on, let's go kill some more. And then he comes back, and it's like, holy crap. And he's harder this time. So the Cyber Demon fight really does feel like it should be the final boss battle. Because it is harder and more satisfying, I think, ultimately, than the other 2. But still, I feel like they all have kind of their own quirks about them, their own methods, and I think it's really well done. I've played the game twice now, and Xbox One and PS4, and
oh wow,
it's still holding strong as definitely my game of the year. And there's no way it's going to be dethroned now with here, less than 2 weeks away from the new year. There's no way that anything is going to change that opinion. It's
because that game in itself is a long first-person shooter, and you've completed it twice now, eh?
It's but again, it's as long as you want it to be. I think the levels themselves are gigantic, like they are really big, and they are just full of little nooks and crannies that have secrets in them. So if you want to spend the time to look for that stuff and gawk around and kill everything, it's gonna take you a long time. It's it could take you 20 plus hours to find everything and do everything, especially on a harder difficulty. But you can also just go straight towards the waypoints and find the keys and get out and finish it in 10 or so hours. It's and like with all the the rune challenges and things that they give you added upgrades and things like that. I mean, there's incentive to going out of your way to do some of this extra stuff, but it's not required, and it's not altogether necessary to beat the game.
I had a great time playing through that game.
Yeah,
there were points where it just started. I started to feel the drag. That like, man, this is really long. This is really long, and was waiting for the end to come. But I had a great time with it.
Once it kind of peaks, like they're about 3/4 of the way through the end. And then, like, once those last few levels, they get a little draggy, but then it's just over. I feel like almost like at some point, the Spider Demon fight comes out of nowhere, and then it's like, okay, we're here. Oh, it's over. All right, I'm satisfied. I don't know. I love that game, so I could talk about it for a while, even though I haven't done a video about it yet. Maybe I should have saved everything I just said and done a proper discussion, but hey, whatever.
Well, I think we talked about it on the last episode of the podcast too. Yeah, we did. Like it's
and I probably just repeated myself with most of that, but at least this time I have played it again since then. So it's not just me trying to remember what I did in May. I beat the game again right around Halloween. So
I just a buddy of mine had brought the game up the other day because he just bought it on a Black Friday sale last month, and he was mentioning how much he was loving it and how he's like, it's so different from Doom 3, so I don't know which I like better. And it made me start thinking again about Doom 3, about how something was special about that game to me. I just loved it being more nighttime horror style, like just everything dark in there. But coming back to being on Mars and stuff with light again in the new one, I mean, it was a welcome sight to see in that. So I like them both.
Yeah, Doom 3 is it's kind of an anomaly of the series. Yeah, it's it's very different than what they had done previously, and then also very different from what they've done since. But yeah, Doom 3 is still really good. I actually was just thinking not that long ago that I needed to go and revisit that, because I've only played it one time, and it would be something I'd like to play again. But I knew that I would double dip and buy it for the PS4 anyway, but I actually bought it before I even had the system, because GameStop had it for $20 brand new, just randomly at some point this summer. So I was just like, all right, I'll grab that for $20 and sit on it until I get a system. That's fine with me. So I took advantage of that sale and had the game before I even had the system.
So what is your current PS4 library? Is it Street Fighter and Doom, or?
I've actually got several, but not crazy amounts. Street Fighter 5 and Doom have been the ones I've put the most time into, but I have picked up Bloodborne, which I have not started yet. I have a feeling if that's going to be the game that I like out of the From Software library, if I like it. Because I don't know, I still am not I'm not man enough, I guess, for Dark Souls yet. I mean, maybe it'll happen for me one day.
I loved it. So
anyway, I did pick up Dragon Quest Heroes and played a couple hours of it, but my time, it was just not. My time, it still isn't like where I could devote a lot of time to that game. But I do like that, you go on the little missions and you slaughter some monsters and you move on. Geometry Wars 3, I picked up the physical version of that because I love Geometry Wars so much. Picked up Guilty Gear Xrd, the first one, not the second release. Killzone, and
we'll have to play that sometime then, man.
Yeah. And then my brother-in-law, because my brother-in-law and I went halvesies on the system, which worked out for both of us, because he wanted to play some exclusives, and I wanted to pick up several things. So I picked up for him, we got the Uncharted collection, and then Until Dawn. So that's the whole collection.
Until Dawn, good game. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts on that. Good stuff. But other than Titanfall, just finished one of the most awaited, most anticipated game for some people. For how many years has it been for The Last Guardian? People waiting for it?
It's probably been about as long as Final Fantasy 15, probably 10 years.
It's been forever. And all I have to say is, for me being a huge fan of the first two games from those developers in Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, I really had a great time with it. You can see when you start playing it, you can tell how there's no way this game could probably have worked on the PS3. Because it's a beautiful looking game, but just how it kind of works and feels. You can tell if you probably played this on a PS3 that it would just be so clunky and it just would not work. But on the PS4, it's a thing of beauty. The only thing, if you're watching any reviews with it, you probably heard the controls aren't the best.
Yeah, but I feel like the controls are never really the best with those games.
Yes, that's right on the money.
Is it the same thing like with Shadow, where it's like a delay?
I don't feel a delay. The thing that frustrates me, actually controlling the main character and stuff, isn't really a problem. The problem comes when you have to control. Oh my word! I can't believe I'm forgetting the beast's name now. Trico. When you have to do some things controlling Trico, getting him to listen and follow your commands can be the irritating thing. But once you start getting the hang of it and getting used to it, the game starts flowing a lot better. Once you start getting used to how to get Trico to listen. So once he starts listening, things go smoother, and the journey is just a wonderful one that you go on. And it's not one of those ones where the ending is all obtuse and everything, and that might disappoint people, or I don't know if that's even a spoiler or not. This ending kind of makes sense once you get to the end of it, so to say. You don't have to keep your mind racking your brain thinking for ages about what does all this mean.
But how will the internet complain about it?
least in my opinion, that's what I got from the ending.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a great length. It's weird when you go through the trophies. It says you got one for finishing under 30 hours. You get one for finishing under 15, all the way down to 5. So it's kind of like one of those things where you're like, so it could take up to 20 plus hours to finish this, but at the same time you can finish it in under 5. What's the deal? But
is there a lot of exploring to do or anything?
I guess areas are really open. Sometimes the way to get somewhere isn't always obvious. You could be in a big open room and look this castle type of building, but it'll let you walk all the way through it just to lead you to a ledge that overlooks a beautiful scenery. That's not really the way you're supposed to go, but it leads you to this area. So yeah, there's kind of some exploring and stuff to do. They have an incentive to find these barrels that you feed Trico that aren't necessary. Some parts they are necessary to progress the story, but they're kind of hidden off to the side because there's like a trophy if you find all the barrels and feed them to them in the game. So there's little things like that to make you branch out and explore. And it was well worth it. I don't think it was worth the
wait.
It's not going to be, for the way it was worth for me, I don't think it's going to be worth the price right now for some people. You're probably going to want to sit and wait on the price to drop down, especially if you weren't fans of the other two. Even though I was mentioning that in the chat the other day, and Scott mentioned he didn't like the Ico, and he really enjoys Last Guardian, even though I feel like they have really similar qualities in them. So, again, it's tough to tell with these games if people are going to like them or not to recommend them. Other than that, just a lot of World of Warcraft, and that's about it, man. I've been doing some Overwatch here and there just because that's a game I still highly recommend to people. I think it won Game of the Year at the Game Awards that no one watches and always makes fun of. Even though I think they're improving. Guys. They're getting better on these shows. I don't know if anyone got to see Kojima and the wonderful ovation he got and the honors he received. Well deserved. But the show's getting better, and I think that's where the Mass Effect gameplay debut took place.
I think it was.
Yeah. But I lost my train of thought here. What was I even talking about?
Last Guardian?
I'm done with that. Anyway, I'm done rambling. Someone else can talk. I played games. That's about it. Oh, Overwatch. I was saying it won the Game of the Year, and it's pretty cool because they keep doing these seasonal updates where, like right now, there's a winter thing going on where you can unlock new outfits for your characters that are winter themed, and just I love what Blizzard does with that stuff, man. It's just they're games. They're awesome. Yeah, someone else can talk now.
Well, I guess
anything you want to talk about?
Oh, well, we're talking about games we were playing, and mine's super short, really. We already kind of talked about Dragon Quest VII, and I already did a game discussion on it, so we're not going to belabor the point, but it is the best version of that game, and if you were turned off by the PS1 version, definitely go out and give the 3DS version a shot, because it does streamline the game quite a bit to where it's not such a slog that the PS1 version was. Finally threw in Kingsfield 4 that we picked up at Too Many Games, and that thing kind of ate up my life for a little while. Like, I got so into that, and then I got to a point where, like, I forgot, because I'm using a guide to, like, slightly get me through it, and I looked at the guide because I couldn't figure out where to go next, and, like, I missed an item way far back, so now I have to, like, slog back to get it and come back. So
I gotta admit, that isn't a game I'd use a guide probably slightly. I'd probably use a guide a lot in that game.
It's surprising, like, you just kind of stumble your way through it. There's a lot of death, like Dark Souls, but, I mean, you don't necessarily need it all that much. There's a few places where you'll get to where you're like, oh, shit, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. But, yeah, you can definitely see the building blocks towards Dark Souls and Demon Souls and all that, but at the same time, I have no idea why they decided that your character has to turn that slow. Like, it's painful how slow your character, because it's a first-person dungeon crawling game, and, like, you're walking along, and the walking and running speed is a pretty good clip. But then if you have to turn, like it takes like a good 10 seconds to do like a 360 turn. So it's really like if you're in the heat of combat, it's really hard to fight while turning because it's so slow. But you kind of get into the rhythm of it, and eventually you start making progress, and you get addicted to it like you do Dark Souls. Playing Trails of Cold Steel 2, wanted to get it in before the end of the year so I could throw it on the games list for the end of the year. Takes everything that was great about the first Cold Steel, but just removes the school part, which I felt was like the sort of drug the game down a little bit, the whole school aspect of it. But now it's just a straight adventure, and it really works a lot better. And I'm really, it's one of those sequels that you go back to the same places again, but everything's kind of a little bit different, and the characters are different, and it's not as bad as like maybe Zillia 2 was, but but really enjoying that one. What else did I play? Oh, what was that Transformers game that Platinum did?
Devastation, I think.
Yeah. I threw that in a little bit, but I was having fun with it, and then it just kind of felt very samey. Like every mission was very samey, and I was just like, ugh. And I just kind of put it up for a little bit because I was like, it's just the same thing every time, and I'm not really feeling like one of those, platinum games where you have to string together 40 combos to deal a good amount of damage to an enemy. Much in the same vein as like Bayonetta and stuff like that. It's a good game, but at the same time, I just wasn't feeling it at the time.
Hers is really short too, like 4 or 5 hours, and it's done.
Yeah, that's what I heard too, and like that was part of the reason why I was just kind of trying to blow through it. But at the same time, I was like, I could be putting that 5 hours into something else.
Yeah.
Which I'll get to it eventually. It was free on PlayStation Plus, so not a big loss there.
Yeah.
But that's really been it. Like Kingsfield I'm probably like the 20 to 30 hour mark on it. It's really feels really long. Cold Steel 2, I think Cold Steel 1 ended up being like a 70-hour RPG, so I figured Cold Steel 2 will be that length at least. So it's just playing, and then Dragon Quest 7, of course, I'm 75 hours in, so it's just playing these really long games with limited time, and you just don't have any time to do anything.
Yeah.
Oh, I downloaded Ashes of Arendelle for Dark Souls 3, and I beat that. And that final boss in that thing, oh my god, that was ridiculous. Did you get it, Steven?
No, and I'm a huge, like everyone knows, I'm a huge Souls fan, but I've yet to get the DLC yet. Have not, because I think with the PS4, like us first generation PS4 buyers like ourselves, with that 500 gigabytes, man, like Dark Souls was on it, and then once I beat it, I got rid of everything. And with my like slow internet here, going back and downloading all that stuff again, or having to download all the patches, I didn't want to go through it yet, even though I've seen playthroughs of that DLC already, so I'm kind of spoiled on it already because I wanted to watch it, and it looks so good, man. Like the environment and stuff just looks so good. So
it was cool, but it kind of fell into that Dark Souls 3 thing where it's like you're playing Dark Souls, but then the enemies behave more Bloodborne-esque, and it's like this weird, Like there's one spot where if you're not careful, you just get swarmed by wolves, and it's like 10 wolves,
And they'll just swarm you?
Oh, they'll just swarm you. Yeah, like you'll be fighting one, and then you'll see another one come on the screen, and you're like, oh, okay, 2 wolves, I can handle that. And then the other one howls, and then all of a sudden, all of these wolves just come at you.
Thanks.
Yeah. But there's some good boss battles in it. The final boss battle, I felt so stupid afterwards. Like it's a 3-phaser, and I didn't know it was a 3-phaser. So I'm working to kind of solo it and beat it myself, and I finally beat the first phase, and then the second phase happens, and I'm like, okay, well maybe I'll want to summon somebody just to get through that. So I beat the first phase with this guy, and then we beat the second phase. And I'm like sitting there throwing like the joy greeting and like hooting and hollering because we beat it. And then all of a sudden this voice booms over the screen and then like revives the guy. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Awesome. Oh, man.
So it took a little while, but I eventually got it.
The joys of a Souls game. Nice.
Yeah.
Those don't
But that was
sound
that,
joys
that was like a
you're
little
talking about.
kick in the nuts. Yeah, there's not a lot of joy in Soul. Well, there is joy, but there's a lot of pain that gets to the joy.
Yeah, you can keep it.
Man. Now, the Bloodborne you picked up, Chance, is it sometime... I don't know if they ever released a Game of the Year one. Or is it just like a standard
It's
one?
just the original vanilla copy. I picked it up at the same place I got my PS4, which is I got a used PS4 because it was like quite a bit cheaper to do it that way, and I had store credit for my half because I had traded in a buttload of stuff, and so I didn't actually pay any cash for my PS4 at all. So
Oh, cool. Hey. Just matters that you have one.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
so is it my turn now?
Now that you have...
Yeah, because I mean that, and then we did we discuss Smash before we started recording?
Yeah,
Or-
well, no, I was asking you about that right when we started.
Oh yeah. So other than Smash with Lily, that's.
Oh, you're.
yes, 'cause
I want to ask you a question about Kingsfield, because I think it's awesome that you put it in to play it, but you said that turning in it's so slow.
yeah.
Did it finally start wearing on you, where you're like, you know what, I can't do it anymore? Because I know, like you said, you were really sucked into it. Like you were.
Yeah. You
really
just get
into it there.
you just get used to it. I mean, it's kind of one of the. It's like Dark Souls in a way. You kind of, when you see an enemy, you kind of plan ahead. Like I was walking up this rocky path, and like there was this circle of ground that was surrounded by lava, and there's just this dude like standing there, and I was like, "That's a boss. I know that's a boss because he's just standing there, and it's like it looks epic in there." So I just stood there and like pelted the guy with arrows, Dark Souls style, and went in there. And when I attacked him, like half his health was gone. So I was like, "All right, this is gonna be good." But
I was
it's
gonna say, forget the turning. Even attacking looks slow in that game.
yeah, but it depends on your weapon. It really does, because
Okay.
if you use like a heavier weapon, he does swing the sword very slow, and then your stamina takes a long time to recoup as well. But like right now, I have this katana. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the second best weapon in the game, and like it deals an amazing amount of damage. And then like as soon as you're done swinging, your stamina's filled back up. So it's a pretty sweet sword to have. I think it's like Stormbringer or something like that. I can't remember what it's called.
Now, in those games, is like you collect armor and stuff too, like
Oh,
armor
yeah.
pieces and okay.
Yeah,
Did the weapon
I mean,
look change when you got a new one? Like they have different.
yeah.
aesthetic
Oh
and
yeah.
stuff
I mean,
too?
you can't see yourself because it's a first-person game. But if you go into the menu, like every time you equip a new piece of armor, it changes the quote-unquote look of the character. And every time you swing your sword, you see a different sword there. But
Okay.
yeah,
So
I
that's
mean,
cool.
it literally is Dark Souls without like the regeneration, and from a first-person perspective with slightly slower combat. Like, you know, in Dark Souls, you get into the rhythm of the shield and then, you know, rolling out of the way and stuff like that. Well, like I was talking to Joe about it, I don't know, a couple months ago or something on the chat, and he was talking about like you just basically circle enemies because, you know, they sort of have the same slow turning speed that you do. So
Gotcha.
if you can get slightly ahead of them, you can get around behind them and attack them. But if you can kind of master like strafing around enemies and then like moving forward and kind of baiting them to attack, and then going backwards as they attack and then forward again to attack while they're kind of recovering. I mean, you just get into the rhythm of the combat, you know. And there's only a certain number of enemies. They just kind of palette swap them, so you kind of know what each enemy is. You see it and kind of what its pattern is going to be and stuff.
Can you actually strafe in that game? Because I always imagined you just like being on a grid type of movement system.
No, it's not.
And
It's not grid. It's free movement.
Okay.
But but the controls are really weird. Like, you're playing on the PS2 controller. You have 2 analog sticks. Why From Software would not let you map? Like, they mapped the up and down look on that stick, but the left and right look you can't map to the stick as well. You have to use the shoulder buttons to look left or right.
I got you.
Or so you have to kind of go into the options and then like change things around so you can, I think I put it so the look was on L1 and R1, and then my strafes were the left and right buttons. But it takes some time getting used to.
I got you. Okay. And one more thing before we move on. People are probably curious. They didn't hear me say Final Fantasy 15 or you say Final Fantasy 15 yet.
Yeah.
Maybe Chance is playing it. I doubt he is.
Nope.
But when are you planning on diving into it? Is that going to be the next one on the list? Have you got it yet?
I haven't even picked it up yet. I want to play it, but I've been trying to get a lot better about my purchases. Like, if the box says Dragon Quest on it, I'm going to pick it up relatively soon to day one. Final Fantasy does not need my help to stay in the West. You know what I mean? So and I'm not going to get to it anytime soon because I'm playing Trails of Cold Steel. So, I mean, I'll get it when, I might wait till the $20 mark. I don't know.
You're a homeowner now with a kid and stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, this month is, like, we were talking earlier and Chance was talking about finances before we started recording. But, we went out and got all this stuff for Christmas and then came home, and then the next morning my car wouldn't start. So it was like right in the nuts right there. Yeah. So
that car's only, what, 2-3 years old, if that?
Yeah, which I thought it was the starter, and the people that were working on it also thought it was the starter because of the way it was acting, but it ended up just being a battery. But in order to get to the battery, they had to test like the starter and all this stuff because the battery was either not charging or it was charging weird. So they thought it might have been the alternator too. So it was like all these things that just kind of stacked up. It ended up being like kind of an expensive bill on top of already walking the tightrope of Christmas. So yeah. So I haven't been buying any video games here lately.
Like, I know you guys have been together for a while now, but is this your like first big Christmas with them? Like with
No, this will be the third Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah, this will be the third Christmas.
Time flies, folks. I'm sorry.
It does.
The months and days just start running together.
Well, that's like when you said the last episode we did was 6 months ago. I was thinking like that can't be right. It doesn't seem like it's that long. Yeah, time flies. So that's
all right, Chance. Yeah. You can go ahead now, brother.
Well, I can't even remember all the games that I've started and then stopped in this interim because I know there's been a lot of stuff that I've picked up and dabbled for a little while, thought that I might put some time into, and they just didn't. It's just been an odd time, with my school and with our personal lives that we have going on, and just work. It's just been crazy to try and fit in the hobby, which I can't say that I'm deprived from the hobby. It's just I've just been focusing on other things, which is totally fine. But when I have tried to play, it's usually
I was going to say, then you have to fit in the hobby of the hobby, which is the YouTube channel as well.
Exactly, which is it's taking a back seat. Which, again, okay, I've posted like 5 or 6 videos this year, and that's totally fine. I don't feel like I've let anyone down. I don't have that many subs anyway, so it's they can deal with what I got, I guess, or move on. So so really all I've really been focusing on lately is I did pick up Pokemon Moon finally, and I gotta say, at least with where I'm at right now, I'm still pretty early on. I've put about 4 hours into it, I think, and I'm just excessively bored with it at the moment. I think it will probably.
Oh wow!
I think it'll probably get better. I've spent maybe too much time just walking around, like trying to see new Pokemon or new the new versions of the old Pokemon, that I haven't actually progressed that far yet. For those playing, I am just now getting to the first trial. So I haven't done really anything yet in the game. So I do like how they've kind of changed the way that the game works with Sun and Moon. Like, for instance, Steven has the Sun version. So during the day while playing for his game, it's daytime, and at night it's nighttime. But for me, with Moon, it's flipped. So when I'm playing during the day, it's nighttime, and then at night it's daytime, and that doesn't matter a whole lot, except like what kinds of Pokemon are available and that sort of thing. But Steven,
I don't mean to cut you off, but
yeah, no.
Something must be wrong with my internal clock on mine, because it feel like it's always night in my game when I'm playing it. Not just because I'm playing at nighttime on night shift, but I could be playing during the day, and I don't know if something's wrong with my clock with how I leave it on sleep mode or something, but
maybe there is.
It's been really weird.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure like during the day it's supposed to be sunny for you, and I've enjoyed that part of this game so far. Is that they are making quite an effort to showcase the setting of the game, and I like that. I like that it's very involved. You're in a new area. It's is it Alola? Is that how you say it? I've never tried to say it out loud before, but it's very Hawaiian.
Me neither. I thought there's.
It's very Hawaiian themed.
Am I getting a delay now? I'm sorry.
Just a
I'm
little
sorry.
bit. It's not
I'm good. Am I getting a delay now? It's a huge deal. I'm so mad. Everything was going so good. I thought it was Aloha, like that was the name of the island. So I have no idea.
Well, I don't think there's an H in it. I think it's Alola. So it's whatever. It really doesn't matter. That's such a minor detail. But anyway, it's a series of islands, and it's very tropical. Instead of gym leaders, now you have what are they called? I can't remember. Kahunas. That's it. Kahunas that are the main people. All of the island, the big shot, the gym leader is now called a Kahuna. So it's very different than previous entries, and I think that's a great step forward for the series, that they're actually doing something new, something unique. I mean, still, obviously the Pokemon collecting is the same, and there's a lot of returning Pokemon. You got your Pikachus and stuff like that. There's a lot that's still the same, but there's a lot new here too. And it's just, I just haven't put enough time into it yet, and I feel bad about that. I feel bad for saying I'm bored with it, but I'm trying to keep it real here, and say that for where I'm at with the game right now, I'm just bored. So I want to put some more time into it though. Other than that, I've been kind of obsessed lately with trying to play just stupid first-person shooters. I put in and beat the first Serious Sam game again because I was just really in the mood for just that nothing serious, just play, shoot everything. This is after I played Doom, of course, again. And after beating that, I decided, you know what? It's time to revisit someone that I never gave the proper amount of attention to. So I decided that I'm going to try to play Duke Nukem Forever. And I gotta say, I put 3 or 4 hours into it, and man, I can't decide if I hate it or not. It's certainly not horrible, but man, it's not very good either. There's just no soul behind it. Like, I know that I said nothing serious and stupid first-person shooters, but man, Duke Nukem Forever really does feel empty. It just feels like there's nothing to do. You're just running around running around to the next loading screen. It is really what it feels like with Duke Nukem Forever. It's boring, kind of, and the combat is not that fun. The guns aren't that fun. I don't know. I certainly don't hate it, but man, I don't think I'll ever finish it. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I care to. It's it's interesting.
Not even good one-liners?
Well, they're there, but they're the same.
Even those are really stilted.
Yeah, they're the same one-liners. It's just a new voice actor now. You know, it's where have they taken our chicks? You know, it's nothing new. But so that really made me just want to go back and play Duke 3D again. Which, you know, truth be told, I never beat it when it was in its heyday. So yeah, I threw back in Duke 3D Megaton Edition on the PS3. Been playing that, and it wasn't that long ago I was reading something and I stumbled across the Duke Nukem 3D 20th Anniversary World Tour Edition that just came out not that long ago, a few months ago, for Xbox One, PS4, and PC, and it's just kind of a graphical upgrade of the original Duke 3D with some added maps with the original team. And man, I'm thinking I really need to own this thing. I haven't bought it yet, but it's like, wow, like I completely flew under my radar. I did not have any idea that existed for a while there, and it immediately went on my Amazon wish list upon knowing of its existence. So I plan on picking that up at some point because I love Duke 3D. It's such a great game. Even though I've never beat it, what I've played is just wonderful, fantastic. And honestly, that is about it. Other than, like I said, dabbling in a few things like Geometry Wars and a little bit of Dragon Quest Heroes, and of course some Street Fighter V when I feel the need to scratch that itch. Yeah, just oh, and I did pick up Call of Duty Infinite Warfare with the Modern Warfare remaster. And I've played quite a bit of Modern Warfare Remastered online because that's just a perfect game. So no Battlefield 1 or Titanfall 2 though, unfortunately.
I actually do kind of want to get Battlefield 1 just because I saw a video where somebody like muted the colors down and got rid of the HUD, and it just looks amazing.
I'm afraid to talk again because I don't know how bad my delay is. And knowing from the reaction, it's probably really long again. But yeah, I watched that video too. That looked awesome. But with Bruno, he's our big Battlefield guy, man. With him, but he's all into the multiplayer aspect of it more than the single player. So hear him get skeptical. Get it? Oh, no. Worries me a little bit since he's hanging it up already and going back to the old one. But
Steven, you didn't talk about that I'm aware of. Did you play Rise of Iron at all?
Rise of Iron?
Destiny.
Is that a DLC? Clarify something for me. Oh, Destiny Rise of Iron. No, I did not. I did not get, because once again, it was having to download a huge patch thing, I thought. So I was like, I'm not going to go through this. I don't want to download something else again. But, so no Destiny Rise of Iron for me.
That's Rise of Iron, like in Destiny in general, is something that I've been really wanting to get back into. Well, I haven't played Rise of Iron at all, and when I got the PS4, I really considered buying Destiny right then and there so you and I could play. But I waited because I knew Rise of Iron was coming out, but then I didn't end up picking it up then, and you and I haven't talked about it, so I feel like I've almost missed it at this point. But I still want to get back and play Destiny again because I had a lot of fun with that the first time through.
I'm actually waiting on, I think, I'm just going to wait for Destiny 2 at this point, or I really just want to give, the game Bruno and them are playing, and Fun Nerd are playing. The one me and Dustin, you really wanted to get to.
Oh, the Division?
Yeah. I'm gonna be patient and give that one a shot now and see how that goes. So I don't know. I really don't know at this point what I want to do.
Well, fine then.
Because Destiny's just, I don't know. I think it's done its thing for me, and I'm good. I'm satisfied with what I got out of it.
At least tell me that when I buy my eventual like 5th or 6th copy of Diablo 3 for the PS4, that you'll do that with me at least.
Oh, I'm always down for Diablo.
I can't wait to play it again. I'm so excited.
And with my brand new PC here, I'm waiting for to play some with Ducky. I thought you guys were playing on computer again or something, man.
Well, I have the vanilla version on PC. Well, actually Mac, to be more specific, but it's with Battle.net or whatever. It's all kind of the same anyway. If you're playing on PC or Mac, you're playing on the same server.
Yeah.
But I think that the Reaper Souls DLC pack is only like $20 maybe. So.
Oh, I'm surprised it's that much. It's been out for a while. That's weird.
Yeah, well, maybe it is cheaper. I really haven't looked at. I'm talking about the one that I've seen is the physical version, like that you have to buy like at a store.
Oh, okay, I got you.
It's like $20.
Got you.
I don't know what it would be just to download it. But yeah, I haven't put a whole lot of time into that either. But I have created a character at least and played around a little bit to get the feel for it, because it's been a while since I played Diablo 2, which is the last thing I played on PC, Diablo-wise.
So you may pick up a PS4 version though.
Yeah. I was really hoping to on Black Friday, if they had it and I was somewhere and had money, because that was the problem. It's like we did end up at a Best Buy or something on Black Friday, but I didn't have that much money, so it's like, I don't need anything.
I gotta say, BlizzCon was one of those things that came and went where I thought Diablo 4 was gonna get announced, and sadly it was not, and I was a little disappointed. I really thought it was gonna happen this year. Well, and then we got I'm excited about the new character to play, but really would have loved having old school Diablo 1 in Diablo 3. Sounds like it's going to be fun too.
That's something that I really missed out on the console versions of Diablo. Was just all of the kind of extra stuff that the PC players got access to with like the seasons and stuff. Like I was kind of excited to get into it on PC at this point, but again, it's been so long since that stuff started. I've missed so much in all of it, but
console
Diablo,
players still do get all the new gear every time it comes out, so that's what's good about it.
And I've played on console now. I think I've played 5 times. Played through the entire game like 5 times, I think. And it's so bizarre, like that the game has such replayability for me. It has for a lot of people, I know. It's like, man, I'm sitting here thinking about it. It's like, God, that sounds great to play.
Well, you keep playing through the stories. Are you into the in-game grind for the best gear, though?
I haven't done much of that. I have one character where I've done some of the Paragon levels and stuff like that, but not much. Because it seems like every time I get finished with the campaign and I kind of put it down, the next time I play ends up being on a different console. Like, I've played it on PS3, I've played it on Xbox 360, and I've played it on Xbox One at least twice now, and I'm ready to play it on PS4 like right now.
Playing through in hardcore with Alex and Bruno and my buddy, Mr. Nice Guy, it was one of the highlights of that game. It was just amazing. Seeing the guy go down in hardcore mode after you spend a couple hours playing together is very disheartening yet hilarious at the same time.
It's like, well, I guess they're not playing anymore.
You feel so bad for him, but then it's funny to see it happen. Like, Bruno's was the worst because he got surrounded. We were right next to a cave, and he was trying to click on it to get back in the cave, but it was just too late. Something happened and he died, and I died up in my mid-40s, and that's a really high level to die at. And I eventually re-rolled and caught back up to Alex, though. I think at that point it was only me and him left in the game, willing to keep going, and we finished it. Had some scary moments, but man, it was a thrill.
I'm thinking
it was awesome.
Level 40 sounds pretty close to, I don't know, late Act 3, maybe? I don't know. But
Yeah, it was late game, man.
'Cause I'm thinking
It was
I
rough.
finished the game like Act 4, the original, like somewhere in the high 50s, maybe 60. I don't know. Is I've only ever got one character to level 70.
Dustin, the version you played was it the Ultimate Edition, or I'm trying to think if you were vanilla PS3 when we played.
No, it was PS4.
Okay,
It was Reaper's Souls.
yeah, it's been a while, so I couldn't really remember. But
Yeah, see, and I enjoyed the game when I played it, but like,
you're just a story and done guy with that, right?
yeah, and I'm kind of sitting here thinking like, chances like getting ready to do like what your 40th playthrough of that game. I'm like,
How's he
like,
keep doing it?
how does he keep doing it?
I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't. It just hits all the right buttons for me. It's I don't know. It's just so much fun. I love the grind in that game, and I want to take my character to every single corner of every map and check in every tree trunk for gold and loot. And it just I just want to do that, and I don't mind how long it takes to get from A to B. Like I can get to the cave or the hole that I need to climb into to progress the story, but if I'm not done with, if I haven't seen the whole area yet, I'll wait. I'll say no, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go kill these bitches and move on. So it just keeps going for me, and it's so satisfying.
Do you
In
ever
any of the
see?
game?
Oh,
Go ahead, Dustin.
I was gonna say, do you ever see like a moment where like Diablo can overtake Doom as your favorite series?
No, I don't. As much as I love the Diablo, it just, I don't know. It's a different kind of game, I guess. So it's different enough that I don't put them in the same to the same rigor of judgment, I guess. Like the original Doom for me, I'm aware is not, even half as good as Doom 2. Because Doom 2 added so much content. Like, just, it didn't change anything about the original game. It just added way more character, way more enemy types, and the levels were harder, and it added so much to it. But for some reason, the original Doom for me is still where it's at. Like, Ultimate Doom is a perfect game for me. And yeah, there have been lots of games, through the history of video games that are technically better and gameplay wise are technically more fun. It still doesn't change the fact that Doom for me is pure nostalgia, and it is just perfect for me. So yeah, there are lots of games that I could put on a very, very high pedestal that I enjoy playing almost as much or maybe even more in some ways, but it won't change the fact that Doom is pure nostalgia and a perfect thing for me. So I don't think Diablo could ever overtake it, or anything for that matter. But there are tons of things that I like to play just as much. Diablo 3 being one of them, and Pokemon, the original Pokemon games, absolutely. Wizards and Warriors, yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's like Final Fantasy VI for you, I'm sure. It's the fact that you have such a deep love for it, and it's pure nostalgia, and you love everything about it. Even though you might have more fun with this technically superior product, it's still not going to change the fact that Final Fantasy VI is what it is to you.
Right. It was just the way you were heaping praise on Diablo. Like I could see like Diablo 4 coming out, and you're just like your brain just clicks over, and you're like you don't even realize the switch over.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, and it's a valid question, and it's definitely a series that I love, and I have never really put any amount of time into Diablo 1. And I played quite a bit of Diablo 2, but I didn't progress very far. I was only in like the second act when I eventually kind of lost my save, and I was like, I don't feel like doing this again. And then at that point, Diablo 3 had already been out, and they announced it for console, so I just waited and then picked it up on console. So I didn't.
Yeah. I was gonna say because I sent you the PS1 Diablo 1. How did that ever play? Like, did it play okay?
Yeah, it's really okay. It's actually considered like one of the best versions it not necessarily one of the best, because there's really only the PC and then the PS1 version. There's a lot of people that prefer it because you can actually do like on-screen co-op with that. Like, so if you had somebody like with you that wanted to play, you could do, couch co-op with that game on the PlayStation. And it runs well. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's just a lot harder than Diablo 3, because it's kind of old school. It's a little bit more. There's less gear and less options, and it's a little harder. And but I've played it for a couple hours off and on since I've had it, but I've never actually made any significant progress with it. But I've never played it on PC.
Cool. That's why I'm looking forward to diving into the version inside of Diablo 3.
So is it like the original game, but like with Diablo 3 graphics and stuff?
They did the original game, and it's not with Diablo 3 graphics, actually. It's with the old school kind of graphics with the same... improved palettes on them. But the same movement speed too.
Oh, okay.
Like the characters move the same, which is really crazy.
Yeah, it's a little tough to. I would say that for sure with the Diablo series, it's a little tough to go backwards.
Yeah.
And obviously, with the discussion earlier about Kingsfield and as it compares to Dark Souls, it is it's what you're willing to put into it and force yourself to get used to if you want to do it. Sure, it would be nothing for a big fan of Diablo 3 to go back and play the first game if they legitimately wanted to and put in the time to get used to it. But 3 is so smooth with the way that it runs that, if you put any significant amount of time into 3 and try to go back to the way that it used to be, it's pretty tough.
And I don't know if that movement control is an optional thing or if you have to actually do it that way. Because I don't know if I want to move that old school way. I kind of like the movement.
I tell you what game that is on PS4 that I haven't picked up yet that I really want to, while we're on this kind of Diablo discussion, is that remake of the Gauntlet that came out a couple years ago. It's on PS4. It's the only console version of it, and I have it on Steam, but I don't have a PC that will run it. And the Mac version, there is no Mac version of the game, so I've really wanted to pick that up because it reminds me, of course, Gauntlet and Diablo are not so dissimilar with the way that they play, and I have heard great things about this remake, and I was really hoping to pick that up at some point because I love the style of game. Have you either of you played that or seen anything about it?
It was a freebie a while back on PS Plus, and I downloaded it. And I played a little bit of it, actually. And
not good?
It's not Diablo, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be exactly like Diablo.
It's really different, and that's what I was expecting, and which I shouldn't have went into expecting that, because I was kind of expecting, like, it's going to have this kind of Diablo-type feel. It's going to be awesome, and it didn't. But it's still a solid game, and I only played by myself. Now, I could see how it'd be a lot funner co-op, like playing with some friends.
Did you play any of the older Gauntlet games, like Legends or Dark Legacy or anything like that?
That is my first Gauntlet experience. I got the one on 64, but I let my sister use my good N64 that actually has decent, that can actually work, so she could play Zelda. So I don't have a functioning 64 here to try that one out even. But and I tried the one on Game Boy Advance. Other than that, that's about it.
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance version is kind of unique. I've played a little bit of a ROM of that one. That's actually one of the games that's on my short list of GBA games that I still actually want. But because I'm actually a huge Gauntlet fan, and I've been a Gauntlet fan since I was a little kid and played the NES ones quite a bit. I mean, they're super hard. I mean, they're arcade games at heart. They're meant to be unfair. You're meant to die early in those games unless you got tons of quarters.
This was challenging. I'd say the new one was challenging.
Yeah, and Legends, I played some of that on Dreamcast, and I remember playing it in the arcade a little bit too. I have played the arcade machine a few times, and Dark Legacy really felt like the same game as Legends, but just more content. And I played quite a bit of that on the original Xbox, and I played and beat Seven Sorrows, which is, to most people that are fans of the Gauntlet series, they hate it. They hate Seven Sorrows so much, and I'm not sure why the hate, but it definitely is more Diablo than old school Gauntlet, and I think that's what I liked about Seven Sorrows. It was definitely a lot easier than the other games, and a lot more Diablo-esque, but still really fun. And I looked forward to this new one so much, actually, when it first came out, but I didn't have a computer that would run it, and I was so bummed out about it. But now that I have a PS4, I haven't bought it yet, so go figure.
I guess what was kind of crazy, like in this new game as well, it felt like you're just you're running in circles so the enemies don't catch up to you, basically. And I was just used in Diablo to, like, you can go into enemies and like fight them and beat them up and stand there and hold your ground, kind of thing.
Well, and I don't know, does the new game have like your life slowly decreases even if you're not being attacked kind of thing?
I don't think so, unless that's in a harder mode where it does it to you on purpose. I don't recall it though.
Well, that was one of the calling cards, of course, of the original Gauntlet games, was that you had to continually replenish yourself with food because you were slowly dying.
There is no like health regen. Yeah, if you get attacked, you have to regen your health by eating, but I don't know what you're saying. I don't think it does that.
Yeah, the originals, it just ticks down like it, and of course it's a quarter thing. You know, you're about to die. You better either find some food or stick some more quarters in the machine. Like that kind of mentality, of course, with the old school games. But I wondered how old school this new one was.
And any Gauntlet memories, Dustin? Did we lose him?
Oh, hold on a second.
Yeah, I heard some talking going on. Yeah, go for it, man. We'll keep rambling.
Yeah. I didn't mean to take it on like a Gauntlet tangent, but
no, you're fine.
I feel
that's
like
something we've never really talked about on the show before. It's a classic staple game.
Yeah, I feel like it's similar enough to Diablo, so I saw a segue there, and it's something that I've been wanting to pick up on the PS4. Other than that, though, I mean, there's just not. I mean, there are games for the PS4 I want to pick up, but man, it's not like a list of things that I need to rush out and get, even for Xbox One either. The only other really thing that I've been kind of itching to get to pick up has been the Bioshock collection, just so I have an excuse to go back to Rapture and to Columbia just to play those again.
Well, if you get it, man, at some point, I'll definitely like re-download it and play it with you.
Bioshock?
No, Gauntlet.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I said, that could be funner with another person.
Yeah,
not that it was bad when I was playing, so.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, though. Like, I think it was meant to be like a multiplayer experience. Like, I think that's what they wanted it to be, you know, more similar to the original arcade, where, you know, the machine had 4 joysticks, you know, that you could sit down and play with 4 people at the same time. And I think that's kind of what they wanted this new one to be, too.
I was pretty mad, man, with Best Buy was having a buy 2, get 1 free sale. And my main goal was to go in there and buy Final Fantasy 15, The Last Guardian, and I kept going back and forth. What's going to be the free game? What am I going to get? And I wind up settling on, I want to get the Bioshock collection because I've been wanting to get it. It's been something I should have got day one, and I didn't. So I was like, I'll get that. That'll be my free game. And I get there, and daggone, they didn't have any copies left of it.
That sucks.
It's like, oh, just my luck. I want to finally get the game, and they don't have it. But
yeah, it's such a perfect package. It's all 3 Bioshock games and all of the DLC. It is such a perfect package, and I for one am just stoked to play them all again.
Yeah, I unfortunately can't until one comes in stock somewhere.
Yeah, and I don't know about any like GameStop or anything place like that, but I haven't noticed a price drop on it yet either. I think it's still up there.
Yeah, it doesn't go down. So I wind up selling on another series I really like though, XCOM 2.
Oh yeah.
So
have you started
that's
that
cool.
yet?
No, because it's one of those longer games. Again, I was playing some other stuff, so I was like, you know what, hold off on that for the time being, and that's what we did.
Oh.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We were talking about some classic Gauntlet series. Didn't know if you dabbled in any of it.
The last one I played was on the N64 when it was new.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Safe to say you haven't played the new one yet either, then.
No.
I call it new. It came out in like 2014, so I mean it's not like new, but it's the newest in the series, I guess.
Yeah.
And I always kind of look for other games that are popular, in that genre of game. The Diablo clones, they're called, and Gauntlet is definitely in the same discussion. And I just don't have a whole lot of other games like that I've tried. What's that? Torchlight. I've heard the Torchlight are both of them are pretty good, but I've never tried either one of them. And I mean there are other games like that, but I haven't explored too much yet.
I can attest that Torchlight is amazing. And I was so hoping they were going to do the first Torchlight on console. I mean, the second one on console like they did the first one, but unfortunately they didn't. But it's amazing. So if you haven't played the first one, at least get the first one on console.
I wonder if there's a Mac version of the second, because if there is, I could do that. But, it's not a big deal if there's not. But
I want to say there should be, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I mean, Steam is a great thing, but there is just not very much, not nearly as much on Mac as there is on PC.
Yeah.
And that's fine, I get it. But
I actually did a boxed copy of that when it first came out on PC. That was my Torchlight 1.
Oh.
That was my way of experiencing that one. So, pretty cool.
One quick thing I wanted to add, and then I think we're all kind of tired, but I know that Dustin posted something a while back about getting to experience PlayStation VR.
Oh, yeah.
How was that?
Slightly nauseating. Just because your brain thinks you're moving, but your body clearly isn't. So you have like this slightly like disconnected feel to it. Especially there was this Until Dawn on rails shooter, and it just made me feel kind of sick in a way because it's like on a minecart type thing. Just going through like this. It's basically like a carnival ride, like one of those haunted house things, and you have to shoot like the monsters in there and stuff. And I don't know, like I there's certain people I guess that have like that motion sickness disconnect with it. So I guess I'm one of those people that'll probably never really use it because it made me sick. But I also did the kitchen demo for Resident Evil 7, and basically you're in a chair. Just tied to a chair, and you can't really react to the environment all that much. You just kind of sit back and watch it, and it was kind of creepy, but at the same time, there's like this weird like disconnect from it where it's not real because nothing's actually touching you or anything, and it kind of gets hokey after a minute or two. But I don't know. I can see the potential for it, but like I don't know if I'd ever want to play like a survival horror game with it, or even like, I mean, something like the Elder Scrolls would be awesome on one hand, but then on the other hand, it wouldn't be so awesome. But it's comfortable. It's kind of a big unit, but it doesn't really add a lot of weight to your head. It was cool, but at the same time, it's not like $400 cool.
And wasn't it Ernie that picked that up?
Yeah, it was Ernie.
Yeah, he actually sent me a picture the day that he bought it, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. So yeah, Lily. absolutely loved it. She was having a ball with it. So
That's cool.
every time I mentioned Ernie's name, she's like, "When are we gonna go over to his house and play his VR?" And I'm like, "Well, we just can't invite ourselves over, but
Well, sure you can.
sure, why not?"
I for one, being that I guess I've been kind of a naysayer for VR this whole time, just because I just don't see the necessity for it for myself personally.
Yeah.
So I've just been such like VR, whatever. I don't care. I don't want to try it. I don't want to hear about it. And to see all these VR companies that have just pumped people up about this stuff, and it's like now they're kind of like hurting a little bit financially because no one's really buying the stuff, or not.
Yeah.
Certainly not like they wanted to, not like they projected that people would buy them. And it's so bizarre that after all this, the least powerful one of the big names, being the PlayStation VR, has sold more units than the rest of them. And it's like, wow, that's amazing, because there's still nothing to play on it, yet people are still buying this stuff. And it's crazy.
It's the video quality of it is kind of a step back when you're used to like 1080p, and you look into this, and maybe it's just my eyes, I don't know, but everything does have that kind of like 3DS blur to it, and that kind of takes you out of it too. Now maybe like the more higher end ones, have that crystal clear, screen presentation, but the PlayStation VR was a little fuzzy for me.
Any PC one I think is really high quality, but they're like $800.
Yeah, it's not just the cost of the headset either. It's the fact that you have to have such a PC that is to a certain level of power that most average people, not necessarily PC gamers, but just average folks, don't have a PC that could run one of these things. So you'd have to pump X amount of dollars into your PC just so you can buy this $800 piece of hardware. It's just like, wow, okay. I don't think I want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
I bought Battlefront, and that's supposed to have that new X-Wing like VR game on it.
Right, that looked kind of cool.
Yeah, I haven't heard what people have said about it, because I'm not getting a VR anytime soon now. And
like I see
has a 23 gig date that I need to download if I can even start playing it.
Gross. I see the novelty of it, but at the same time, it reminds me of like when 3D televisions were the big thing, and now like no one even gives a shit about 3D televisions. It just seems like this 3D thing keeps coming back as a fad, and then it dies for a while. Then they try to do it again, and it dies for a while. Now, I mean, eventually, like this is like the first generation of these things. Maybe by the second generation, things will be a lot better and all the kinks will be smoothed out and all that stuff. But right now, it kind of reminds me of 3D televisions and Next. It's not really necessary.
Oh, I know something I wanted to ask you though, Dustin. I finally got to watch Star Trek Beyond. Like I bought it on Black Friday on the cheapo.
Yes.
What were your final thoughts of that again, or how did you think of it?
I really loved it. I thought it felt like a souped up episode of the original series. Like I really felt like it really captured sort of that classic feel while still, having it be modern looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know what it is with these movies. Sorry.
Go ahead.
But for some reason, they just fly by. Like I get to the end, I'm like, whoa, it's over, and it was 2 hours, and it's because I'm so engulfed in it the whole time. I'm like, wow, they pace so well. In my opinion, they do. At least.
That's the thing that people get upset about, like that they're so briskly paced. But I love to sit back and watch the original Star Trek movies, but it was made for a different era of film, and like it or not, now everything has to be kind of whiz bang. But I still feel like even with the whiz bang of the new Star Trek movies, I still feel like there's still some ideas present in those films, whereas, you could go watch Star Trek 1, the motion picture, which is a very lofty-minded film asking very deep questions about, what constitutes life and all that stuff, but it's also probably one of the most boring movies you'll ever watch. But
I'm trying to think if it's even. Am I allowed to talk about a movie? Is it old enough to where it can spoil? That's not an old movie.
What movie is it?
Well, the Star Trek Beyond.
Oh, I don't think I think if people were going to watch Star Trek Beyond, they would have watched it by now.
Okay. Well, I want to know, when's it going to be? We're 3 movies in. When do you think we could see a main character death? Like, other than the Admiral and stuff from the last movie. I mean, a cast, crew member death.
Well, we're probably going to... They've said that they're not going to recast Anton Yelchin for Chekhov. So we'll have to see how they handle that character, whether it be an off-screen death or they just have him go off on another ship. But I don't think they will, unless that for that specific situation. I don't think you're ever going to see like a main cast death. Like the biggest thing was in The Wrath of Khan when Spock died, but then they also kind of, reneged on it as well. So
yeah,
but to have something like, I don't know, to have something like that happen in this is not really the kind of series to have that kind of happen. But then again, it's the new universe, and Zachary Quinto has already said he's kind of wanting to move on from playing Spock. So maybe they won't recast him. Maybe they'll kill him off. They blew up Vulcan. What what else can they do in these? I don't know. But I guess we'll have to see.
So he said that though. He's kind of.
He said that, but then he signed back on for Star Trek 4. So I don't know.
Okay. And I'm actually surprised those, like, the Marvel movies are doing great and everything. I thought Star Trek had a huge following to where, I mean, they bring in money, but part of me thought they'd, bring in a lot more than they are, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, they're not hitting the 300, 400 million marks like I kind of thought they would. At least I have to research that, but I don't think they have it.
Each one has been, like, Star Trek 2009 made a lot of money, and then I think Into Darkness made slightly less, and then I think Beyond made slightly less, which it's kind of the first movie had that big excitement of Star Trek coming back, and everyone else was like, oh, that looks actually pretty good. But then once you start getting into like sequels, then you start losing people because they're like, then they have to remember what happened in the last one and all that stuff. So but they're still making enough to warrant, another one. It's not like I hate it when I read like the biggest box office failures of 2016, and I guess Star Trek Beyond was one of them. And it's like, it made a profit. How can that be a failure? It made a profit, but apparently it didn't make enough money. So. And
is this new TV show is actually going through, right? Like, I see some cast member announcements.
Oh
and
stuff. It's happening. I mean, I'm excited for it, and I'm excited for the new cast, but like the fact that they had Brian Fuller, who he was the showrunner, he also did Hannibal, and he also did a bunch of stuff on Star Trek back in the day, but he like left the show over creative differences, and that kind of makes me worried a little bit. But I guess we'll see what comes out when it comes out. But I don't like the way they're doing it either, where they're not putting it actually on television. It's on CBS's All Access Internet network. Like, there's no. Yeah. So it's like it's not even going to be that big of a. It's like they're already setting it up for failure. So it's, I don't know.
True. Dang, I didn't know that, man.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I'll pay for the CBS All Access, and then as soon as Star Trek that season's over, I'll cancel it and sign back up for it if they do a second season, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of disappointing. But I think Netflix is... I want to say Netflix is showing it in all the other countries of the world. So maybe they'll work some deal to get it on Netflix after, like, first run or something.
Okay. That would be disappointing to make a series as popular as that, all internet access. Sounds kind of scary too. Like, is it actually going to be good?
Yeah, like I really wish like CBS wasn't in charge of Star Trek. at least they're in charge of the television aspect of it, and it's like they just want to do it like on the cheap, and I don't know.
Well, I guess one last thing that. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I'll say one last thing we'd probably end on, which I'm also interested in hearing your opinion on, is David Tennant, Mr. Scrooge.
Oh,
DuckTales.
yeah, I just saw that. I mean, that could work. I'd have to hear him do the voice, though. But, I mean, I guess that would work. I didn't realize that they were, like, rebooting DuckTales. And
Neither did I.
Yeah. I didn't realize that was a thing, but I don't know. For me,
he's kind of a name, so I'm actually surprised he's doing it.
Well, it makes me wonder about the rest of the cast, if they're going to get, like, that quality of... Which, I mean, it's just voice acting. He can probably knock out the entire series in one afternoon or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? So...
Because the way they do these short, like, 10, 12 episode series sometimes these days.
Yeah,
he could knock it all out.
But yeah, that's... Cool. It's cool, but it's also kind of just... It's one of those, like, what the fuck, you know? like one, you're bringing back DuckTales, and then two, you're having David Tennant do Scrooge, but, you know, he might have a great Scrooge voice. I don't know.
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
Well, Chance, man, unless you got something, man. Think like you said.
Now, I'll just add to the Star Trek Beyond discussion that I thought it was amazing, and I about lost my shit when Sabotage came on, and it was
I'm getting tired of the song, actually. It's getting played out.
I am too. Yeah,
Change
it's
it
like...
up.
I'm not... Like, I love in movies or songs, like when they reprise back to something else. Like, that kind of quality, really, I love. Like, it just keeps it very, you know, on the nose, you know.
I never thought it fit, though, with the show. Like, even in the first new one, I just never thought it fit.
I think it absolutely fits with this one. I see what you're saying with the previous ones, but I don't know, I felt like it was the perfect song for the moment for me. But, you know, whatever. My opinion is not worth a whole lot. But the movie was a lot of fun. I loved Beyond. That was really good. But other than that...
Suicide Squad is horrible, though, on the other side, so I do not recommend Suicide Squad. Anybody.
Didn't see that. Didn't see Batman vs. Superman. Didn't see most of those. Didn't see Civil War. None of it.
I paid $24 for that thing yesterday and immediately regret it after I got it because it was bad. So there you go. There's your warning, folks.
Well, send me your...
I really kind of want to see the new Spider-Man movie, but like I'm 47 Marvel movies behind, so it's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I think the last one I saw was... Well, I've probably seen more than you have, but I saw the second Thor movie and I saw the second Captain America, and I don't think I've seen anything else since then. I haven't seen
I think the
second Avengers or Iron Man 3 or any of the newer X-Men stuff. I know that's not exactly related, but I haven't seen any of it either.
Yeah, the last one I saw was the first Avengers, so I'm behind.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's like 4 of them a year, so it's...
Yeah, I know that they keep making money and they keep making them, and that's fine, but man, it's a little overwhelming. It's a little much.
Well, it's like every side character is getting their own movie now. It's like, did we really need an Ant-Man movie? I mean, come on.
Yeah, you're getting one of everything now, it seems like. So now DC's trying to do it, but we'll see.
Yeah, but DC's trying to do it on a very, like, accelerated timetable. Like, they're... Yeah. Like, at least Marvel was trying to make good standalone movies, and, like, DC's just trying to cram everything together from the gate.
Mm-hmm. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, I love Deadpool, though. That one was really good.
See, I still haven't seen that one either.
That one was just fun. Like, regardless of quality of storytelling or whatever, I don't really care. It was just fun to watch.
It was. And I like how he's pushing for a Deadpool Wolverine movie, even though like he's...
That would be so cool.
That'd be great.
Well, I read like a fan theory that like Deadpool wrote the movie of Deadpool. So like the Deadpool that you see on the screen is not really the real Deadpool. That's like his imagined version of himself doing all these things.
It
Yeah.
would not surprise me.
No, that was
So
so.
if that theory is true, then they could do the Deadpool Wolverine movie because it would just be Deadpool's idea of Wolverine.
Yeah, which is Hugh Jackman. He's
Yeah.
so in Deadpool.
Although Hugh Jackman's not going to do another Wolverine.
Allegedly.
I think this could lead him to doing it. Like, I think he would do it.
Yeah,
He's kind of giving hints like he might.
because like he wouldn't have to get as buffed out because it would just be Deadpool's version of him.
Yeah.
So
In a yellow suit.
yeah,
Although I was pretty, I don't know. I've heard like differing things about whether or not the sequel, like a true sequel to Deadpool, will even happen. But I was kind of looking forward to some Cable action too.
I think it's happening.
yeah, because I think they were talking about getting like Dolph Lundgren to play Cable or something like that.
I hope
Yeah.
I
not.
heard, what's his name, Stephen Lang,
Yeah, I hope it's him.
the guy from Avatar, the
Yeah.
drill sergeant, whatever guy from Avatar.
Oh, okay, yeah, that'd be good too.
He'd be
Yeah,
absolutely perfect for Cable. So perfect.
Fans are pushing for him, so we'll see.
He's great, and he would be a really good Cable. So that would be awesome to see. Well, I guess that's it. Shit.
Yeah, I think it's good, man.
2 hours, Merry Christmas, and all that good stuff.
we'll see you next year.
We'll see you next summer, at least. Hopefully.
For
Hopefully this gets up by Christmas, so that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Whoever's working on it.
I'll try to edit it up this weekend, see if I can't get that done.
So, yeah. Now with my computer all fixed and done, I have no excuse now. Like, and my internet's working. So anytime you guys think we're good to do one, I'll try to work it in there. Should be good to go.
Actually, Chance, do you just want to like put that on the drive for me to do because I have the music and like the artwork and all that stuff.
I can do that. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
do it tonight.
Okay. Yeah. But I just remember because I was like, well, how's he going to get the music and all that stuff to do that? So
I didn't think about that.
here's a little behind the scenes action for you guys. So I'm glad you stuck around to hear it. Yeah, there you go.
Cool. All right. See you later, everybody.
All right. Bye, guys.
Good day. Good morning. Whatever.